Okay, so we actually tapped into a whole bunch of things in this episode, such as mental health and fear of the police. Lee Daniels likes to do that. He likes to tap into what's really going on. So let's talk about it.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Empire. This is season 5, episode 7. As I said, we tapped into some mental health issues, fear of the police. We even had a new superstar guest, which is Joss Stone, actually played Winter, which is Jamal's artist. He actually signed her to his own label when he was in the UK. And she came to, uh, she's come to the States and she said, hey, she just popped up literally and said, hey, I'm going to finish my album here with you. I'm going to stay here with you. So it was pretty funny. She's singing her face off, Cookie heard her, and Cookie basically started stepping on Jamal and trying to sign her to Lions Family Records and whatnot. And Jamal was like, wait a minute, now you just stepping all over me. There came a point where Kai told Jamal, you allow your mother to do these things, and you have to stand your ground and let her know you're not a child and stop allowing her to control you. And they actually had a little conversation, and Cookie tried to give him a little pushback, but I think she seen there that she was pretty ridiculous, and she had to let it go. Kingsley is still doing what he does. Whatever, if Lucius says it's raining, he swears it's snowing. And there's all this pushback against Cookie and Lucius and Giselle as it pertains to the divas. He still just would not budge. And eventually, Giselle talked to him and said, listen, this is what we're going to do. Let them do all the work, and then we're going to take all the money. Trust me. So she got some shit up her sleeve, as usual. Whenever Giselle said something to Becky about it, Becky told her, she says, why are you exploiting the war between Lucius and Kingsley? Why are you doing that? Since you're the last person around here that made moves like that ended up falling onto a table full of champagne glasses. Baby, she told her, do I look anything like Boo Boo Kitty to you? I said, girl. Becky know like I know. If you don't want to end up stinking, you better cool it. And I mean cool it real quick. We were seeing more marks on Candace this time. And I was like, okay, how long is this going to go on before Cookie really gets alarmed at these marks on Candace? Well, she's already alarmed, but before she starts to speak out about it, she started saying something to the other sister. The other sister was like, baby, she's getting her ass whooped at home. That's all this to. She's getting her ass whooped. And then there actually came a point where, Candace and her son, his name was Franklin, they both are working there with Cookie. He's a computer geek. Franklin is cute little boy. Little, you know, at one point, Candace is going through a divorce. So the husband actually showed up at Cookie's house and was like, give me your keys. This, that, the other, was bullying them around. And it seemed that the two of them, Franklin and Candace, were really afraid of him. And Cookie was like, they're both scared of him. He's whooping her ass. That's all that's to it. I said, okay, cool. Let's flip over to Andre and Quincy's mom. They messed around and hooked up. They didn't have sex in the whole 9 yards, baby. They didn't threw down. They're still fighting this fight. Then we see Andre go down to the jail and he has a visit. And he asks one of the inmates, said, I need a favor. And shortly thereafter, the inmate goes, he's like, okay, cool. Why are you wanting to protect him? And he's like, because I need to, this, that, thing, and the other. Next thing you know, there's this phone call. Somebody has somebody else has been convicted of what Quincy supposedly did. And then there's this whole thing like Quincy's getting out. And I'm like, what the hell just happened here? It was too fast. It was kind of weird. I was like, all right, well, whatever. So we'll get to see what ends up happening when Quincy gets out and Andre's messing around with his mother, because I don't see that going over real well. But we're going to see. We're going to see. Um, yeah, weird. And that's what then his mother was kind of like, let's not like make this really weird or whatever. And he's like, we'll just let it play out or whatever. So he's been really cool with it for now. For now. So, let's see who else got some mess going on. Blake has basically released a diss track to get to get Hakeem all worked up. And Hakeem is like, he wants war, then it's war he'll get. Baby, I said, oh no, he didn't. He was letting him have it, honey. He did, it's called flip flop, flippity flop. I said, oh no, he didn't redo drip drop, honey, and then let Hakeem have it. I said, oh boy. And of course, you know, Hakeem and Tiana still having their back and forth. And I don't want you. You know, she's on my nerves really bad. But okay, so let's get down to what the whole real situation was. There's two. Kingsley in this whole thing with Lucius. We see Kingsley going to go see his mother. That's his mother that's in the hospital. We're seeing him with these pictures of her and all this white woman and all that. That's his mother. And we find out Kingsley blames Lucius for his mother being in a state. She's in some type of comatose state. He blames Lucius for being responsible for her being in that comatose state. We don't know how she got in that state. And he also claims that Lucius is his dad. I said, what? So Lucius is supposedly Kingsley's father. I said, Lord have mercy, what are we doing here? And he vows he's going to destroy him. I said, oh, okay, interesting. So we got that going on. But here's the one. So the one day they're sitting there, Candace don't show up for work. And her son don't show up either. And they're like, what's going on? Then Shane answering her phone. Cookie like, you know, come on, girl. We're going on over there. So her and the other sister, they head on over there. When they get there, baby, you're hearing glass breaking and shit going down. There's just a whole fight going on in there. They get in there, baby. There's somebody in there whooping ass. But it is not Candace's husband. Baby, it's Franklin. Franklin is handing out ass whoopings like 40 going north. He was beating the shit out of Candace. Whooping her ass. You hear me? And Cookie jumped in. He got the whooping Cookie's ass. I mean, and then he got the other sister. I said, baby, listen. He was whooping ass. Do you understand me? It was not no joke. He was hitting folks with shit. Carol and Candace had ran and he got themselves in the bathroom, got locked in. Cookie stuck outside with him. Cookie calls the police, which you know is the very last resort for her. And she's saying, okay, now I need you to calm down. He said it because he was beating this door in, like, literally, like on The Shining. He's beating this door. Come out! Come out! I'm just crazy as hell. And Cookie's telling him, okay, so the cop, you can hear the sirens. Cookie's saying, she's like, that's fine, baby. Everything's fine. It's fine. I need you to put that, he had a lamp. Put that down so they don't think that you have a weapon. Just put that down. So she talks him into putting it down. The cops come in. Cookie's like, no. It's fine. He doesn't have a weapon. He's unarmed. It's fine. It is fine. And he's standing there. And then Candace hollers his name and he made a set motion, which it wasn't even necessary because he had nothing in his hand or nothing like that. And the damn cop tased him. Totally unnecessary. He falls down. Candace, you know, just in uproar at this point, comes out, and that's what she's saying. He's 19. He's only 19. Please don't take my son to jail. He didn't mean it. This, that, and the other. She's begging and pleading. And she's like, he has mental issues. He's on medication. This, that, thing, and other. They're like, child, we are arresting him. And Candace comes out. She's like, wait a minute. You called the police on my son, Cookie? She flips on Cookie and punches Cookie in the face. And they're like, stop it or we're going to take you all in. So it just ended up being a mess. And then they end up taking the boy to jail. Candace turns around and tells Cookie, you are not my sister. I can't believe you called the police on my son. I'll never speak to you again. You're not my sister. And she turns to Carol and she's like, he was going to kill her. Because at one point, he had her in a chokehold. He was choking her the fuck out. He went the fuck off. He was handing out ass whoopings, okay? And Cookie was just like so done. Like she just didn't even know what to do with that. And she ended up going live and talking to people, about mental health and stuff like that. And she said, it's just terrible. It's like it was the hardest decision I ever had to make to actually call the police on my loved one. And then, it could have very well, like he tased him, he could have very well shot him, and that was what Candace's whole thing was. But like, it was what it was. The way that he was kicking ass, he needed shot. He really did. He needed shot. He was cutting up. I said, you really got some issues fucking your mother up like that. He beat her motherfucking ass. I said, and Cookies. He whooped everybody's ass. I said, ooh. I said, girl, he's the one y'all need on hand and on deck because he's a bad motherfucker. He whoops ass. A mess, honey. I said, wow, it was interesting. Very interesting. But they tapped in, like I said, tapped into that mental health thing, where people don't like to talk about it and try to hide it and all that, in the black community. And also this fear of the police. That's what Cookie said. When something goes down, who do we call? Who do we feel comfortable calling? Because it sure ain't him. I said, oh boy. It was a mess. It was a mess. Very interesting. Very interesting. But that's it. They're not going to be on next week. So 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'll talk to you guys again. In 2 weeks. All right, you guys. Later.